I'm Bob Losure, former CNN anchor, and today I'm very excited to introduce you to a company that's on the cutting edge of this incredible performance-enhancing research. The company is Human Lab Sports, and today I'm joined by their president and CEO, Andy Losure. And Andy, welcome. Thanks for being here. Tell me about Human Lab.
Human Lab is a company, Bob, that looks at biomechanics. We developed a CD-ROM which allows people the benefit of biomechanics in the comfort of their own home. This CD-ROM will actually allow them to assess their weaknesses. It will prescribe the exercises that they need to do to remove the problems they have, and then take them on to a core stability program and in a final phase of working global performers.
What is exactly biomechanics?
Well, biomechanics is looking at the way the body functions, not just as far as the muscles are concerned, but the actual skeleton is concerned and the major nerves. We incorporate them all. It's a functional movement, the way the body functions, and addressing the weaknesses or benefits that people have.
And isometrics are one of the keys to your plan.
Isometrics is a term of using a contraction of an exercise. By contracting it, but not actually putting pressure to overstretch or overcontract. It's just a light power of 20% is what we're asking you to do to keep the pressure on the muscle so that we can try and break it down and relax it.
I know for most athletes, they're used to going to a sports medicine doctor, or perhaps a chiropractor, or perhaps some other athletic person who helps them. But you're telling me that with these CD-ROMs and the research you put into these, this is just as good, if not better, because they can do it in the comfort of their own home and they can do it on their own time schedule.
Yeah, biomechanics really has only been available for the top athletes. What we've done in the research that we've done, we've put together assessment programs and protocols where individuals can assess themselves in the comfort of their own home. The CD will prescribe the exercises that they need. We're not just talking benefit for the top athletes anymore. People can benefit from many reasons. A tight sciatic nerve, for instance, will improve the power output of a quadricep by 14%. So we give them exercises which can stretch nerves and look at other things that up till now weren't available for them.
I noticed that one of the things that struck me as a journalist reading this was that the PGA, the Professional Golfers Association, has backed you in many ways in saying they're on the right course.
They've done more than that, Bob. We actually produce courses for the golf professional. They number of times they look at students who can't get their swing in the way that they would like to work, and they call that swing mechanics. We look at the biomechanics, and what we've said and what we've shown them is that some swing actions can never be corrected. Some people have an out-swing swing, some people have weight transfer problems. Now, a lot of these are biomechanical, and regardless of how many times they go to their coach for lessons, he will not be able to cure this. So what we've done is we've put some courses together for the PGA. They've called it and described it as the missing link, because we can educate golf professionals to look at a swing, to turn around and say, that person has a biomechanical problem, and go back to the pro shop and suggest they buy the CD from the pro shop. That allows them to continue with the swing mechanics while the individual works in the biomechanics at home, comes back a week later, a lot more mobile and a lot more flexible.
Why haven't people realized that this would work before now? I mean, you would think it's so simple, it should have been out there.
It is simple, and you will find top biomechanists around the world actually using these techniques. As I said, we've only taken what's available and what's out there. It's just been available to the elite, and what the system allows people to do, it's a smart system. It's not just a case of passing and failing. For instance, if you have a tight piriformis, we double check through another exercise called downing the sign where the pelvis is moving and working correctly. So it's an intelligent system that cross-references all the points that we want to get over before it prescribes the exercises that you need to remove the problem got.
Are the pelvis and the hips directly related to the feet and other muscles all the way down?
You'll be surprised. I mean, many times when people go to a practitioner, they've got a pain in their hip, and the pain usually evolved around somewhere else. Some people have neck pain that comes from the back, some people have shoulder pain. The human body is a remarkable piece of machinery. It compensates for problems that you have. And we've talked about the hip, and we've made reference to it a few times now. But if your hip is twisted, or you have a pelvis that's rotated, it will and can give you a leg length discrepancy. Now, we're only talking about quarter or half an inch, but the body compensates for that in many different ways.
You can do it with simple exercises.
Yes, and the four-sign movement that we talked about and we showed about earlier is just one of the simple movements.
And it's not necessarily stretching. Stretching to you has several different connotations.
Yes, I mean, the actual CDs, we only stretch the nerves. We stretch the sciatic nerve. We stretch the median nerve. As far as the muscles are going, we're actually looking at spasms. And for spasms, as I said earlier, we're not looking to stretch a spasm. If we stretch a spasm, it may stay fine for like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, but eventually it will snap back in. What we want to do is use the isometric contraction, that we gently use 20% of our effort to actually release these. And some of the exercises people know, and they say, wow, I used to do that exercise, I know it. And when we say, well, how did you do it? You usually find that they pushed down on the knee. They didn't push the knee up into the hand. So all they were doing is trying to stretch the muscle out rather than contract it and break it down.
But it's that simple. If you put the knee against your hand and press up, that's far better than the hand going on the knee going down.
For these actual exercises and for these tests, yes, our studies showed that by contracting them with 20% of the effort, again, if you over-contract, you over-push, you over-force, you're not going to relax that. So 20% of the effort for about 20 seconds, three sets of time.
Well, you deal a lot in these CD-ROMs with athletes, cyclists, golfers, multi-sports athletes. But you also want these CD-ROMs to be the kind of thing that the average person can use. Those people with pain, lack of mobility. And I take it that's one of the focuses of what you have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you take some of the other sports in the world, like motor racing, for instance, a lot of the technology that they bring in, benefits they bring, end up in our cars, where we stop the cars from skidding, for instance. And this is just about the same. Similarly, we take what benefits athletes at all different levels, and we can bring them back into everyday life. People suffer from back pain, people suffer from knee pain, ankle pain, foot pain, and we can take the information that we found from our studies and help everybody.